So we are back at our Illustrator file with the things we want to decorate, in my case with trees. How do we do this? You have somewhere on your desktop, I have a tree file, should have another tree file. Oh, I thought I saved the other one somewhere. We have some that we can work with. So in Illustrator, you're going to go to File, Place. Okay, File, Place. You're not going to drag it and drop it in. File, Place, trust me. Then go find your image. Why don't I go with, that was a, is it a JPEG? I think it was a JPEG. Where is my, there we go, JPEG. Bada bing. There's all my JPEGs. I have too many JPEGs on my desktop, apparently. One of which is a tree. Not that one. Find my tree. Or is that my SVG file? Nope, tree.1, JPEG. File, place. This is what happens. Be organized, people. Tree. Oh, there it is. Tree. JPEG. Place. Bada bing. Now, this place thing is way better than drag and drop. You drag and drop, it makes it the size that it is, it plops it on there, you have no control. This, I can place where I want it. Do I want this to be how big? Maybe that big. Look, it's a tree. And then I can move this around. Okay, now you'll notice that this is in front of the outline for my circle. Kind of annoying because there's a white background, right? It's not transparent. I can fix that. So we have it there. Object, arrange, send to back. Bloop. Now my tree is behind my circle, so you don't see the annoying like overlap thing that is a problem with the circle. So that's one way to do that. Size looks good. You can always click on it, resize. If you are like, whoops, it's on Silly Putty. If you want to resize and keep the dimensions the same, hold the Shift key down, and then it'll keep the proportions the same. Up to you. If you only want to change the proportions a little bit, like that doesn't make it look too wonky and it fits your circle better, or fits your whatever shape you're dealing. Oh, wow. Oh, and I highly recommend the arrow keys for moving things just subtly. Sometimes it's easier to get things where you want them. Oh, that looks nice. Let's say I wanted it over here. I could file place, back to my tree. Where's that tree? Down under T. Ta-da. Place that here. Let's say I wanted a smaller version and I wanted it kind of up here. Ta-da, a little tree. No problem. Same deal. Now I don't have to put this behind because the box that is the document is not interfering. Now, when you see these with the X on it, it means that it is referencing the file external to the Illustrator file. If you move that Illustrator file, you will lose access to the image that you are currently seeing in it. In order to embed the image file in your Illustrator file, select Object, Rasterize. And you're like, what? Yes. Now, transparent, go with transparent. The rest of this, 300 dpi is fine. You could do something else. You could make it a 600, which would also be fine. Don't go less than that. 300 is good. The rest of this is just fine and dandy, no problem. Okie dokie. There it is. Note no more X when it's selected. It is now a part of this file and it will rasterize, engrave just fine. Same thing over here. Oh, there's an X. Select it, object, rasterize, boom, transparent because I just moved it to that. Okie dokie. Look, no more blue X. Okay, so you are all set. The other things that you might want to do while you're here, you might type, you could type just regular type. Type area type tool will fill in a space. Vertical type tool is exactly what you think it is. You can do vertical area, type on a path, all kinds of things. Yeah, all kinds of things. So let's say we just wanted to do some normal type. Okay, lorem ipsum. Your name or song lyric or whatever. Your controls on your font are all up here. So this is a 36 size font. It's kind of big, right? Remember, if you look at your rulers and realize this is a 24-inch by 18-inch giant thing, this is huge. Decide how big you want that. 12 size font is what you normally see on your paper, so you have to turn in, right? So somewhere in that ballpark. But it depends on what you're doing. If you want to change your font, oh, we have all kinds of fonts, right? Something pretty. Here's the thing about the fonts. Because we are going from a Mac-based system with Illustrator to a Windows-based system, which we had with Illustrator, it doesn't have all the same fonts. So if you pick a font, and frankly, you're going to have to do this for any font, but if you care about your font, you're like, yes, I want that one, you're going to have to rasterize your font, which also means you can't edit it again later. So do something you can actually read if you actually want to be able to read it. And because we're laser engraving, you can do something that's a narrow, like this is a narrow weight line, Herculanum. So it's going to be very faint. If you want it to show up like solidly, pick something thicker. I'm going to do something decorative because we can. I'm going to move that so it's a little more centered-ish. Oop, arrow keys. Love those arrow keys. There. Now, if I left that there, it would pop up in like Helvetica or something on the Windows machine. Not my fancy scripty, isn't that pretty font. Because a Windows machine doesn't have it. So all you have to do is while that's selected, you can rasterize the font. Now, one of the things that's, this is the other thing I forgot to do. Here's my tree, here's my, let me do this way. My tree and my text, right? Those are my images. I need those on this layer. I know I'm bouncing around here. Bear with me. I'm going to grab this and drag it up and put it on layer 2. I'm going to grab this guy, and drag it up and put it on layer 2. Because I want to be able to turn on and turn off the things, all of the cut lines and all of the design lines. Oh, I got to take the other tree too. So there's 2 things up there. Cool. All right. So anyway, back to this. So now I can do the sublayers and font selected. Great. Again, I'm using the meatball. That works fine. You could just select it normally. It'll be okay too. With it selected, you're going to go to Object, Rasterize. Same deal as you did for the image. Boom. Okay. Transparent, blah, blah. Everybody's happy. Okie dokie. Now, this is no longer a font. I can't, with the text tool, go in here. See how it's not turning into the cursor? I can't type into this anymore. It's like a graphic of the font. So make sure you've got it the right size, the right font, everything you want before you do that. But you need to do that or you're going to get to the other machine and it's going to be like, I'm sorry, you can't do that. No fun at all. Oh yeah, that's the behind over thing. I've got to move these around a little bit. This. So the layer that's on top is the layer that's in front. So I can just like move my cut lines and my engraving things. Fabulous. I am set, right? I can now, last step, right? I can now make sure that my cut lines, which are all of these blue things, right? Those are the lines that are going to cut. None of that is an image. That is all, please cut here. Up here, oh, no fill, right? So make sure it's no fill. Go over to stroke, drop down to the stroke, black stroke. And how big does it need to be? 0.001 or 0.003. Those are your options. Hit return. Bingo. Okay. Oops, I added more text. Don't mind me. Make sure that you have no extraneous marks outside of your artboard. It has to be all inside the artboard. Please make sure that you are moving things to take advantage of all of the material that you have and not wasting anything, right? If I just cut this out of the middle, how irresponsible is that really? I can move this over here, which is one way to maximize. If I have, say I have a narrow slice of a partially used piece, I can do that. If I have a wider piece, I can do this. If I have a narrow piece that goes off the top, I can do this. If you hold the shift key down, it'll let you make it straight while you're turning, because it does it only on the 45s and the 90s. Kind of cool, right? So make it fit the artboard. Make it fit the material that you're using, please. And it's easier to do that while you're on the Windows, while you're on your machine than on the Windows machine before you take the file over. So do all of this stuff, rasterizing, sizing, changing the stroke width, making sure there's no fill, everything, okay? Then, again, save your file again, why not? And then you're going to put it on a flash drive and put it on the Windows machine, and we will deal with how do I cut this in class. Good luck.